Everyone is talking about this right now when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are on a 4-game losing streak after a 16-game winning streak. Of course, they were going to get talked about. They finally hit the biggest skid of the year, and everyone is talking about certain things as to what's going on with the losses. Hey, everybody, Billy Beebe back with you on Cavs Digest. A tough stretch for the Cavaliers. We literally have not seen this yet this year. Longest losing streak for the Cavaliers at 4 games right after they won 16. It's kind of an awkward situation. Cavs fans trying to figure out how to appropriately react. Nobody wants to panic, but everyone wants to figure out what's wrong. We're going to talk about today what we are seeing right now that everybody kind of thinks is the issue as the Cavaliers losing that lead in the Eastern Conference, not sealing up the 1 seed, and struggling to beat teams they absolutely should. Phoenix, one of the most discombobulated teams, sick of their own selves teams, and yet you go into Phoenix and you take that loss. You had Orlando at home, you take that loss. Now you've got the Jazz and Trailblazers coming up, both winnable games. We'll see what the Cavaliers do. However, I want to check back in. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers, just a few away, a couple of clicks. If you haven't subscribed, whether you've watched one video or 100, whether you just got to the channel, you want to try it out, or you love the videos, be sure to subscribe. It helps us gain traction. We love the interaction, people jumping down into the comments, talking about everything that's happening with the Cavs, your opinion on this, that, and the other. I love to see it. I know I love seeing other people kind of interact and whatnot with the Cavaliers, so especially as they head into the playoffs, we want to see more and more of that. But as I talked about with the Cavaliers, they're going through a tough stretch right now. 4 in a row, and it's crazy to think 4 in a row is a tough stretch because a lot of teams lose 4 in a row. Good teams, bad teams, mediocre teams, they all lose 4 in a row, and the Cavs just hadn't done it yet this season. The most they'd lost is 3. They were coming off a 16-game win streak. It was just shocking to see them lose 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to factor in the fact that it was them against the Phoenix Suns was sort of another added-on situation for them. Like, why are they losing these games? The Suns are limping their way to the finish of this season, trying to get out of the hell they've created for themselves, and the Cavaliers can't get it done. Now, in our last video, we got to have a good little discussion about some pros, some things we like to see. Evan Mobley has played well. Defensively, I thought he did well against KD the other night. Wasn't on him the whole time, but definitely had his moments against him, and KD did still end up having a big game. But I think Mobley's taken this opportunity to be more assertive, and the Cavaliers haven't necessarily won games anyway, so maybe that says something about Mobley in the future. We can talk about that later. However, came to a head the other night against Phoenix that one of the problems in this losing streak absolutely has been Donovan Mitchell. Really has struggled effort-wise, shooting-wise, scoring-wise. He's coming off the injury. That was a big part of this, right? They were winning without him while he was hurt, which is an interesting part. He had the injury, and it seemed like they wanted to make sure he was okay when he came back, fully back. And even he has talked about his issues during this stretch right now for the Cavaliers. It's been like this for the past 4 games. We lost 4 straight, Mitchell explained. I have to be better. Simple as that. We have to guard better. We have to rebound better. It's on me. I have to be better for the group. I've been good for the group all year, but it's on me. There really is nowhere else to look. And I got to agree. Some of the things we've seen from Mitchell during this stretch are highly questionable. Phoenix was the one where people really took notice. Only 7 points on 2 of 18 shooting. Couldn't hit a 3. And it seemed like he was kind of getting back to himself a little bit against the Kings. And unfortunately, the Cavs lost and really were never in that one too much. Still putting in some effort on defense. And, against the Clippers, it seemed like, hey, he kind of took a back seat and distributed. But, man, he has, unfortunately, taken this moment over the past 4 games, and I don't know if it's him catching his breath. I don't know if it's him trying to figure out the best way to play with teammates and get them hyped up down the stretch. But right now, I think a lot of Cavs nation, a lot of people that watch the Cavs on a regular basis, they're worried about Donovan Mitchell. It's not panic for the Cavaliers. It's what's wrong with Donovan Mitchell during this stretch. And, I mean, those stats, they speak for themselves. That's a tough look for the Cavs. Who, again, if you look at the Eastern Conference standings, it was 8. It's now down to 5. The Celtics aren't going to go away. Today, if the Cavaliers beat the Jazz, they can seal up at least the 2 seed and home court advantage for the first 2 rounds. But Since when has that been the goal? Since when has that been the mission? And that's been the confusing part for the Cavaliers is, I had said it in my last couple of videos is, hey, let's seal up the 1 seed and let's move on here. That's what it should be all about. People were worrying about peaking at the right time and this, that, and the other. Just get the 1 seed and go. That was always my personal belief for the Cavaliers. That's what I always wanted for them was get the 1 seed and go. Now they're kind of trickling into this weird situation. Looking at some other things that may be the problem with the Cavs that I've seen mentioned here or there, Kenny Atkinson has had a hard time adjusting to this losing streak. Doesn't seem like he has been aggressive with the lineups. That was always my favorite part about him throughout this season specifically is, and I think Isaac Okoro has been a great example. When Isaac Okoro has not played well, yanks him out, keeps him out. That's it. Same with lineups. So Atkinson has done the same with some lineups is this 4, this 5, this 3, not playing well together, offensively or defensively, they're out. Switch. New group. Seems like he's letting this group play it out right now, and I don't know necessarily why that's a thing. You have the opportunity now to assess how much, okay, Mitchell's struggling more, Ty Jerome, till we get him reacclimated or healthy. I don't know how healthy Donovan Mitchell is. All right, Max Strus is getting picked on right now. It has to be DeAndre Hunter entering. I don't know what has happened to Kenny Atkinson that he's lost that touch on how to put the lineups. It seems like that was always a real strength for him throughout the season, and really it has been since that Orlando game. Cavs led by 13 at halftime of that game. Yes, 13 points they led the Orlando Magic at halftime. They lose that game. They lose 3 after. Again, the Suns not overly impressive. I don't know how they lost that. The Kings were missing players. I believe they were missing Sabonis and Levine when the Cavs lost them. And, the Clippers are a quality opponent. Kawhi played that night, and they shot the lights out. So I'll give them their credit there. But this has been a confusing stretch for the Cavaliers. I don't know if this is a last-ditch effort to figure out the best way to work your team. I don't know if they're trying to work guys in. Unhealthiness. I mean, there could be a million different explanations. My hope is the Cavaliers are bored, right? That's my main thing. I hope they're bored. I hope they're just trying to figure some things out and get to the playoffs, go from there. That's why I love the NBA, because a great team that's been great all year can struggle at the end, get to the playoffs, and they'll have a series to figure it out. Not just one game, a series. Drop down in the comments. I'm interested to hear from people what they think the problem has been over this stretch. Is it Donovan Mitchell? Do you believe that? Seems Mitchell believes that. Do you think it's lineups? Do you think it's effort? I mean, there's a million different explanations. I want to hear from you. Drop down in the comments. Let us know. And be sure to subscribe to Cavs Digest.